Hello and happy Friday from Nats Academy. It's a beautiful and windy day here in the nation's capital as the Wildcats of Villanova come down 95 to take on the Georgetown Hoyas. The Hoyas come into this matchup still searching for their first conference win of the season. They've started off Big East play 0-6, currently on a 9-game losing streak, and another chance to grab a conference win here today, but a tall task in front of them, playing host to the reigning conference champions in the Villanova Wildcats. Villanova comes in with a whole lot of roster turnover from a season ago. Pivotal losses both in the infield and in this circle for Villanova, but nevertheless they've brought in 5 new freshmen alongside 1 junior transfer to try and fill those shoes. Nevertheless, Villanova, they've had a tough schedule right out of the gates. A lot of ranked matchups and a couple of signature wins already under their belt, most notably taking down Virginia Tech a couple of weeks ago at the Hokie Invite. They've also had difficult opponents with matchups against Clemson, a game that went into extra innings. Also a big win over Florida Atlantic. Nevertheless, a big one here today for the Hoyas. Villanova will lead things off for us. Kelsey White at the plate right now. And taken for a strike on the opening pitch from Dunn. Following White, it'll be Miranda Rucco on deck, Ava Franz in the hole, Elena Wagner in the cleanup spot, followed by Brooklyn Ostrowski, Maddie Burrows, Grace Reed, Ava Manking, and Elizabeth Gray, as we get our first out of the afternoon with a fly out to center field grabbed by Turner. Let's walk you through the defensive alignment for the Hoyas today. Starting in the infield, working from right to left, it's Kuzo, Reben, Fenton, and Streitmatter over at the hot corner. In the outfield from right to left, it's Park, Turner, and Koo, as Dunn gets another first pitch strike. The pitcher today that gets the starting nod is Kayla Dunn, the senior right-hander out of Holly Springs, North Carolina. She's throwing to Pardini behind home plate. Count ties up at 1-1. The senior right-hander in Kayla Dunn comes into this contest as the top pitcher this season for the Hoyas. 12 appearances, 7 starts on this season, as she can't locate the zone on the 1-1. A record of 4-5 with an ERA of 4.33. In her 42 innings worth of work, she's allowed 37 hits, 29 runs, 26 of those being earned, as this one's belted down the left side but rolls foul to tie up the count at a pair. 22 walks and 38 strikeouts for Dunn this season. All the while, she's held batters to a team best 230. We saw Dunn for 6 innings in the last matchup here at Nats Academy as she gets a backwards K to start off the afternoon. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first for Kayla Dunn. Dunn threw 6 innings in that most recent game for the Hoyas against the Harvard Crimson. Allowed 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and tallied just 1 strikeout, so has already matched that total here this afternoon. Dunn winds and fires. This one skips in the dirt, or the turf, I should say. Taken for ball 1. Ava Franz in the batter's box currently for the Wildcats. Can't locate the zone. Taken for a ball. 2-0 count. Franz with a second highest team batting average this season for Villanova. Comes into this affair hitting .288. And she's someone with a whole lot of power. There are 23 hits. 9 of them have gone for extra bases, 4 of which left the ballpark. 3-0. Dunn's got to pound the zone. And takes her time. She'll step out of the circle. Truly is a great day here in Washington, D.C. 55 and sunny. But certainly a whole lot of wind. Those flags whipping up high. Dunn kicks and fires. Called strike one. Here's the 3-1. The right-hander kicks and fires and deals another strike. And the count goes full. A beautiful rise ball right there from Dunn. Working against this senior shortstop out of Aston, Pennsylvania. 3-2, popped out to right field. Gets over the head of Park. Rounding first, headed for second. She'll slide in safely. A 2-out double for Ava Franz. Make that her 10th extra base hit of the season.
Batting fourth for the Wildcats, right fielder, number 12, Elena Wagner.
That'll bring up Wagner in the cleanup spot. Wagner, another senior on this squad. A whole lot of veteran talent on this Villanova team this season. And obviously we mentioned it in the open. They have lost a significant amount of production from a year ago. As a great backup right there from Pardini prevents it from rolling to the backstop. (1-0). Right down the pipe, taken for a strike. Ties up the count out 1-1. Batting-wise, his Villanova squad said goodbye to Test City's Allie Jones and Chloe Smith, along with another starting infielder in Victoria Sebastian. City's Jones and Smith were three of the best hitters in program history during their tenure with the Wildcats and have a couple of Big East championships to show for it as well. Sky high, shallow outfield, and reeled in by the shortstop in Fenton. 2 flyouts, a backwards K, and a double from Ava Franz to begin the top of the first inning. We'll keep it here as we walk you through the starting lineup for the Hoyas. Leading off will be Claire Turner, followed up by Gabby Park and Naya Campos. Emily Strittmatter in the cleanup spot, followed by Abby Kuzo, Sammy Fenton, Holly Pardrini, Danny Koo, and Brooke Rebin. In the infield for Villanova, over at first, it's Ostrowski, then Burrows at second, Franz at short, and Reed at third. Gray in center field, White in left field, Wagner in right field. And Gallant gets the nod today in the circle to kick things off with Mankin behind home plate. And when we talk about key losses in terms of bats, that's not the only place where Villanova has seen some departures due to graduation. Their all-time saves leader in Caroline Pelinko, alongside the 2024 ace in Alyssa Seidler, both departed but prior to the 2025 campaign. But they bring in 3 freshman arms: Sophia Mount, Lexi Corbin, and Maddie Burns. Nevertheless, it's the junior Gallant getting the nod. Gallant this season sports a 4.09 ERA, a 1.46 whip. She's appeared in 14 games for Villanova so far this year, starting in 10 of them. (82 hits, 39 earned runs, just 15 walks. And and 42 strikeouts. But teams have really belted her with extra base hits so far this season. 16 doubles, 3 triples, and 7 home runs. First pitch down Main Street for a strike. 0-1 up top, taken head high to tie up the count at 1-1. Working against Claire Turner, the leadoff hitter today for the Hoyas. This one a grounder that finds the gap down the right side, and it's a leadoff base knock for Claire Turner.
Batting second, the right fielder, Gabby Clark.
Turner has really started to heat up as of late, but down the left side rolls foul. Make it now 5 straight games with a base knock for Claire Turner. She had 2 in the last game of that St. John's series. Went 2 for 2 in game 3. Went 1 for 3 against Harvard in the most recent game here at Nats Academy. 0-1 for the lefty, head high for ball 1. Park squares around a bunt. Mankin had a chance at it. Diving attempt, can't hold on. Count runs to 1-2. Park, the junior outfielder out of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, comes into this affair hitting over 300 this season. Looks like that one got a piece of her. Yes, it did. 2 successful plate appearances for the Hoyas here early on, and a runner in scoring position with nobody away. That brings up Naya Campos. Another lefty bat for the Hoyas. Tipped foul into the backstop. Campos has been somewhat of a streaky hitter so far this season. In the last 5 games, she had 3 hits, then 1 hit, then 0, then 2, then 0. And when they come, they often come in bunches. And the Hoyas' bats have been hot early on. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Count goes to 2-1. A sac bunt, not a bad option here to get 2 runners in scoring position. We'll see if she goes back to it. Gallant unloads upstairs, ball 3. In danger now of loading the bases, just 1 ball away. The 3-1. Punched foul down the left side. And the count goes full. Payoff pitch. Down low and the bags are juiced. A single, a hit by pitch, and then a 6-pitch walk. This is the kind of spot that a cleanup hitter dreams of. Bases loaded, nobody away. Check swing called, strike 1. Strittmeyer finds the gap out in right center field. One run comes, two on the way. It's a stand-up double that brings 2 runs in, and the Hoyas are out in front. What a start for Georgetown today. Gallant shelled here in the bottom of the first inning. And they're going to want to talk things over. The Hoyas hungry for their first conference win of the season. An excellent start to today's affair. And still, 2 runners in scoring position, nobody down. Gallant now just trying to limit the damage here in the opening frame. First pitch for Kuzo taken outside for ball 1. And this not the batter you want to face right now. A girl that's hitting just about .350 this season. The team's leader in hits and batting average. Along is second in ribbies with 12. A chance to drive in 1 or 2 more here. 1-1 pitch. On a beam, a laser that's grabbed by the shortstop Franz. What a play.
Batting 6th, the shortstop, number 25, Sammy.
If that one gets behind the shortstop, that's easily bringing in 1 and probably 2. But a nice grab made by the shortstop. So now 1 down for Sammy Fenton, who will step in from the right side. This one popped up foul over the Hoya dugout. Oh, 2. Belted down the left side foul. Oh, 2. A dribbler down the third base line. It keeps the runners honest. And a quick throw over to first for Ostrowski to get the force out. A great response after that quick meeting in the circle from Villanova. Back-to-back outs. That all started with the line drive to Franz that the senior made a great veteran play on. First pitch for Gallant, can't find the zone. 1-0 count. The right-hander deals. And another hit by pitch. Up until today, through 26 games, she had only hit batters 3 times. Now 2 already here today. And once again, the bases are loaded. This time for Danny Koo. First pitch outside, ball 1. The 1-0. This one's hit hard out to center field, but not enough mustard on that dog. And a fly out to Gray retires the inning. 3 ducks left in the pond, but 2 runs scratch across for the Hoyas, and Georgetown takes a 2-0 advantage to the top of the second inning. And we welcome you back into the ballpark here at Nats Academy in the nation's capital. Georgetown with a great defensive play made by the second baseman Fenton to get things going here in the away half of the second inning. And that was a quick start. A web gem early on. This game has provided us a whole lot of action. 3 hits in the first frame. We also had a strikeout thrown from Dunn. And now 2 web gems. First made by the shortstop for the Wildcats in Franz. That one by Ruban. Hard hit ball to the right fielder, and Park is there to clean it up. 2 up, 2 down. Right now, this does not look like a Georgetown team that came in to the 2025 season ranked last in the Big East preseason poll. And on the flip side of that, you have a Villanova squad that was ranked first. And obviously, you got to give this team credit with the recent success they've had in the last couple of years. 6 straight Big East championship appearances, coming away with hardware in 3 of them. Meanwhile, Georgetown just a combined 30 wins in their last 2 seasons. As this pitch is waved by for the first strike of the count, 1-1. But a new coaching staff this season for the Hoyas. Great additions as well, both through the portal and with freshmen. Called strike 2, and the count ties up at a pair. Deuces Wild with Grace Reed at the dish. The right-hander deals. Down low, and the count goes full. 3-2 count, nobody on, 2 down. The Wildcats looking for a spark of life. Dunn delivers. This offering sent down fair. Right on the line, flirted foul. But just enough to stay in play, and a 2-out base hit for Grace Reed.
The catcher, number 7, Eva.
It almost looked like the Hoyas laid off that one, anticipating it to go foul. Nevertheless, dunks in for a base knock. Now we'll run her on. Dunn can't find the zone on her first offering. 1-0 count. Working against the catcher, Ava Mankin. Popped up out to right field. Park has a beat on it and tucks it away for out number 3. So once again, 1 base hit for the Wildcats. Well, once again, can't do anything with it. That will take us to the home half of the second, coming up on Georgetown Athletics. It's the bottom of the second inning, and the Hoyas are out in front by 2. Brooke Rebhan will lead things off for the Hoyas as they'll go 9-1-2 in their order after going through 8 plate appearances in that opening frame. Gallant lets it go, popped up foul, and that's a souvenir for a fan. Oh, 1 count. Pitch on the way. Right down Main Street, taken for strike 2. It was early offense for the Hoyas. A single, a hit by pitch, a walk, and then a double as this one is laced down the left side, foul. Not sure if you could tell with that wind still in full effect. We'll try it again. 0-2. Outside. First ball of the count. It was a single, a hit by pitch, and a walk that loaded the bases for Georgetown in the bottom of the first, and a double from Strittmatter that drove in 2 runs. Then we saw a team meeting as this one's popped up over the head of the third baseman in Reed. Runner will walk into second. It's a stand-up double to lead things off. Brooke Rebham keeping the offense rolling. Once again, it's these extra base hits that are really the signs of early offense for Georgetown. And we talked about that right at the top of the bottom of the first inning, where that's one thing that if you can pinpoint Gallant's game, and it's tough to find a flaw, but double seems to be the one where a lot of extra base hits this season have really hurt her when she starts in the circle. 1-0 grazes the bottom part of the zone to tie up the count. 1-1, nobody away, runner on second. And the offering is popped up foul. Now the 1-2 for Turner. Well outside. Count goes to 2-2. This one sent down to left field and goes foul once again. So we stay stuck at a 2-2. Now first baseman Ostrowski comes down, gives a nice high five to Gallant. Trying to cool down this Hoyas offense, and once again it's the shortstop Franz making the play. Climbing the ladder to reel that one in. Showing off the bunnies.
Number 14, Gabby Park.
Brings up the left-handed batter in Gabby Park. Slow roller down the first base line, and Ostrowski will put it away. It does advance Rebhan over to third, but 2 down. Campos walked in her last plate appearance, takes a first pitch strike. Now the 0-1. Down low and outside. 1-1 count. Can't find the zone once again. Back-to-back balls. Campos, the junior out of Tucson, Arizona, watches this second strike whiz by. Deuces wild. 2-2 count, 2 down. Gallant lets it go. This one popped up and foul once again. Gallant winds and fires. Called strike 3. Got her looking. Campos retired with a backwards K. And a runner stranded in scoring position for the second consecutive inning. This time the Hoyas can't scratch one across. We move to the top of the third here at Nats Academy. If you like offense, you're in the right spot. 5 combined hits through the first 2 frames. Georgetown out in front 2-0. Villanova with 2 hits on the afternoon thus far. Franz with a double in the first, Reed with a single back in the second. Gray will lead things off at the bottom of the order for Villanova. They'll go 9-1-2 in their order. It's been a great day thus far for Kayla Dunn in the circle. But right here finds herself down in the count 2-0. Dunn fires this one, a chopper down the third base line, and a high toss that goes over the head of the first baseman, Kuzo. And Gray will advance to second. And E5 helps her advance into scoring position as we go back up to the top of the order for Kelsey White. Dunn delivers outside on the screwball. It's the best spot that the Wildcats have been in all day. Once again, another chopper. This throws on the mark. They're going to try and turn it into 2. No. Gray beats the toss, advances over to third. Now finds herself in prime position with only 1 out. It's Runco at the dish. 1-0. Pounds the zone for the first strike of the count. And we talked a little bit about coaching. Here with a first-year head coach for the Hoyas and a whole lot of turnover. As this pitch can't find the zone once again, the count goes to 2-1. Head coach Carla Ross for the Hoyas in her first season at the helm. Comes to Georgetown from DePaul University, where she served as the associate head coach for one season with the Blue Demons. And prior to that pit stop, as this 2-2 is blasted down the left side in foul territory. Park couldn't track it down, or Koo rather couldn't track it down. So we stay stuck at the count. But prior to the pit stop at DePaul, Carla Ross spent 4 seasons as the head softball coach at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. And while she was there, led the Hawks to their first postseason berth since 2009. And if you want to go even further back, she was a stud playing at Wisconsin in Big Ten ball. Another foul ball. Count stays full. The Ashburn, Virginia native was an all Big Ten first-team player for the Badgers back in 2011. And on the flip side, you've got a Villanova squad that is very, very happy with their current coaching situation. Certainly nobody on the hot seat there with the recent success that they have had. Ever since Bridget Orchard came to Villanova, this has been one of the premier teams in the Big East Conference. And as that toss gets away from Dunn on the full count, now runners on the corners. And this is when you got to think about the double steal. Brings up Ava Franz, had that double back in the first inning. First pitch trickles inside for a ball. And Orchard is an alumni from Villanova. Was an all-star infielder for the Wildcats back in her playing days. Ever since 2019 when she took over here for Villanova, she has been one of the top coaches in the conference. That goes without being said when you've made 6 conference tournament championship appearances. And it's been somewhat of a slow start to the 2025 campaign for the Wildcats, but I wouldn't expect that to ring true for the entirety of this season. This is a squad that sits in 4th currently in the Big East standings, but that might be the lowest we see them go all year. Once again, another free base, and just like that, the Wildcats have the bases loaded here in the top of the 3rd inning. Great patience at the plate right there from Franz. Back-to-back walks. Brings up Elena Wagner. Flew out to Fenton at shortstop her last time at the plate. This one's going back. It's long. Over. Right over the head of the center fielder in Turner. Bangs against the top of the wall. And it's an RBI double. That brings 2 runs in and ties us up at 2-2. We've seen the bases loaded twice today, and each time, for one per each respective side, has sent one to the outfield and brought in 2 runs. The only difference is there was no outs on the board for the Hoyas when they were in this spot. This time around for the Wildcats, you've got 1 down, but still runners on second and third. Ostrowski trying to take the lead for the first time today. It's a sac fly out to center field. And just like that, Villanova out in front. Excellent execution from Ostrowski. We're seeing a whole lot of action to the outfield today with the wind in full effect. And we'll have a quick meeting here in the infield. As this Hoya squad just tries to get their bearings once again. What's so interesting about this Georgetown team this year is they've allowed the fewest hits per 7 innings at 9.45. As this one is belted down the right side, and it's out of here. The snowball has turned into an avalanche as the Wildcats offense has erupted in the top of the 3rd inning. A 5-run frame here in the top of the 3rd. What a start here for Villanova, and a great response. They had a little bit of offense in the 1st and 2nd, as on a couple hops it's fielded by the second baseman in Rebin with a 4-3 ground out to end the top of the 3rd. But not before 5 runs come across. Georgetown heads to the bottom of the 3rd, trailing. It was all Georgetown in the opening 2 innings. But after a 5-run top of the 3rd from Villanova, the Wildcats now out with a commanding 3-run advantage. Emily Strittmatter will lead things off for the Hoyas here in the home half of the 3rd. They'll go 4, 5, 6 in their order. This pitch taken down low for a ball. And what I was trying to say right before Burrows rudely interrupted me with a 2-run bomb is that this is a Georgetown team that has allowed the fewest hits per 7 innings in the Big East at just under 9.5, which ranks 64th in the nation, but they're also 3rd in the conference in scoring, averaging 5.5 runs a game, which is top 100 in the country as well. Nevertheless, they just haven't found the recipe to success quite yet, especially in conference play. As we mentioned over and over again, still hunting for their first conference win of the season. 1-2 tipped foul into the back net. Early on, it was a whole lot of offense coming from the Hoyas. While a relatively slow start from Villanova completely changed in the top of the third. On a rope down the right side, falls in for a base hit. Make that the third consecutive inning with a leadoff runner for Georgetown. It was a single from Turner, then a double from Revin, and now a single from Strittmatter, who's now 2 for 2 on the afternoon as well, with a double back in the first that brought in 2 runs. First offering for Kuzo is low and outside for a ball. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Called strike one. Ties up the count at 1-1. This is a Villanova team that is, as I mentioned, coming off a Big East championship a season ago. Went to the Fayetteville Regional in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Actually knocked off the Arkansas Razorbacks in that region. However, it was the Arizona Wildcats that triumphed ultimately. And that's a tough region. I mean, you got 2 top 25, or it might be 2 top 15 teams with Arizona and Arkansas in that region. 3-1 count. Right down the pipe. And the count goes full for Abby Kuzo. The payoff pitch. Held off and called ball 4.
The shortstop, number 25, Sammy Fenton.
That'll bring up Sammy Fenton with runners on first and second and nobody away. That's the 4th free base of the afternoon given up by Gallant. 2 hit by pitches, 2 walks. First pitch down Main Street for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Strike 2, another beauty. Went back to the riser. Oh, 2 tipped foul. Gallant has done a good job of getting herself up in the count. And a lot of times today when she's gotten herself up in the count, then has thrown consecutive balls and given up a free base or hit the batter. It can really shake the momentum. Another foul, this one down the right side. Oh, 2, nobody away. Strittmeyer on second. Kuzo on first. And Gallant can't locate the zone, just a tick outside for a ball. One, 2. Gallant kicks and fires. Off speed outside. 2-2. Pitch on the way, popped up out to center field, and grabbed by Gray. It'll keep the runners honest at second and first.
The catcher, number 7, Holly Pardini.
That brings up Holly Pardini, the catcher. Hit by pitch in her last plate appearance. Sky high into foul territory and no chance at it. Reed tried to track it down for a moment. Thought that wind might push it back into play. I mean, it really is powerful out here in terms of the wind we've got going on. Up high, ball 1. This should be a great year of Big East softball. Obviously, Villanova's going to be in the mix in that upper echelon. You've also got quality teams like St. John's. Creighton will also be in that mix. But still early on, as we're just now getting into the thick of conference play. 1-2, outside. Villanova has really had a challenging schedule to begin their campaign. Sent foul down the left side. We stay stuck at 2-2. But the wins that they got over FAU in Boca Raton and against Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, both of those being on the road as well, that is something that can definitely bolster your resume when it comes tournament time. Obviously, this isn't a Wildcat squad that's necessarily hunting for an at-large bid. They're looking to win another conference championship. And that would be something to hang your hat on. 4 in 7 years. Popped up foul. Catcher can't make the play. Mankin had a beat on it, but tough to locate. 2-2 runners on first and second. One away. Pardini awaits the pitch. Waved by, strike 3. Second K of the day for Gallant. The first one swinging. Now Danny Koo, the right-handed batter, will take a crack at it. Watches the first pitch whiz by for a strike. Koo, a freshman out of Menlo Park, California. One of those really, really impactful first years for this Hoyas squad. Obviously, when you get the starting spot in your freshman season, nevertheless, a ground out over to third will close out the third inning. Another goose egg on the board for the Hoyas as they trail by 3, headed to the top of the 4th. Through 3 innings, 7 combined runs between these two Big East foes, 5 of which came from the Wildcats in the last inning. An explosive top of the third, and it starts here in the top of the fourth with a leadoff base runner. Mankin with a chopper down the left side for a base hit, beating the toss. 6th hit of the afternoon from Villanova. Dunn, the right-hander, deals. Gray squared around a bunt for a moment, then pulled it back. Taken outside for ball 1. One-0 pitch. Gave that one a go. Right down Main Street for a strike. Couldn't put barrel to ball. And once again, another chopper that the Hoyas can't handle. Allows runners to move station to station. That one's going to be scored as a hit. Gray's last time up to bat, she had a chopper that went down the third base line as well, and it was an E5 that helped her advance into scoring position. This one popped up down the right side. Park brings it in, and the runners don't go anywhere. Shallow flying ball, keeping everybody honest. And White at the top of the order, retired on a F9. Dunn delivers. Outside the zone on the fastball. Now the 1-0. This time finds the inner half of the zone for a strike. Dunn had a really strong first 2 frames. Now she goes off speed right there up top, head high for ball 2. If you're just now joining us, I mean, that third inning was something else. Gray got it started with his single, then advanced on the E5. A little bit of chin music right there for Runco. Unfazed, takes a 3-1 count. Then a fielder's choice put one away. And then back-to-back walks, loaded the bases, and Wagner scorched a double to tie up the contest. And a sac fly drove in another run, and a 2-run bomb sent out of the ballpark from Maddie Burrows. Leaves us where we currently stand with a 5-2 score. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners on first and second with 1 down. Dunn winds and fires. Can't find the zone, and once again, the bases are loaded for the Wildcats. The second time Runco has been walked today. And that takes us to Franz, who was walked in her last plate appearance and hit a double in her first at-bat of the afternoon. Good backup right there from Pardini to keep everybody in their place. The double play certainly an option here with the bases loaded. And if you're Franz, you just want to get it to the outfield. Dunn calls time again. It's her second time this afternoon. Dunn lets it fly. just a touch inside, 2-0 count. You certainly don't want to walk anybody here. Trying to stay within striking distance if you're Georgetown. But a chance to really crack this one open for Villanova. 2-0. Slow roller. And they just opt for the 4-3 toss and drive another run in. If you're Georgetown, I mean, that's a spot where you would love to try and do the 4-6-3 and get out of the inning unscathed. Nevertheless, one run comes across. A 6-2 ball game here with 2 down. Off speed up top, head high for a ball. And Dunn pounds the zone for a strike. One, two. Dunn kicks and fires. Popped up out to center field, but that wind pushed it right back into the infield. Caught by Rebhan for the third and final out of the top of the fourth. One more run comes across. Villanova out in front by 4 as we head to the home half of the fourth. Halfway through today's affair, the Hoyas trailing by 4, with Villanova earning all 6 of their runs in the last 2 innings. Georgetown will go 9-1-2 in their order, starting off with Brooke Rebhan. Rebhan had a leadoff double back in the second inning. One of 2 hits for extra bases for Georgetown this afternoon. That was really their recipe for success in terms of early offense to begin this contest. Nevertheless, it's cooled down just a little bit after 2 runs in the first, scoreless in the second and the third. Rebhan watches the 0-2 whiz outside for ball 1. Rebhan hitting .278 this season. Popped up foul once again in the bleachers. You had a couple parents scrambling to get away. Nobody wanted to give that one a go. One-two count. Up high. Ties up the count at a pair. And just like that, the count goes full. 3-2. Nobody down as the Hoyas try and climb their way back into this ball game. On a line, down to the hot corner, and a quick toss. A 5-3 ground out off of the payoff pitch. That one had some heat on it going down the left side. This one's belted out to left field, and it's way out of here. Home run, Hoyas. Claire Turner, no doubt about it. Her 4th of the season. And just like that, Georgetown cuts in to the Wildcats' lead, now trailing by 3. The second home run of the afternoon.
Number 14, Gabby Park.
What a day it's been for Turner, now 2 for 3 on the afternoon. 1 run, 2 runs now actually, pardon me, along with a ribby. That brings up Gabby Park, 0 for 1 today, with a ground out that trickled over to the first baseman. Was also hit by pitch in her first plate appearance of the afternoon. Squares around a bunt, yanks it back as it goes low and inside for a 2-0 count. This one popped up foul. This is just the 38th all-time meeting between Georgetown and Villanova. They first met back in April 1st of 2009, and the Wildcats have really controlled the series between these two programs, outdueling the Hoyas 24-13, especially in the Orchard era, winning 16 of the last 17 meetings during her tenure since 2019. That sole win for Georgetown came here in the nation's capital 2 years ago in their weekend series, where they grabbed 1 out of 3 contests. Here's the payoff pitch. Popped up foul. We stay stuck at a full count. Gallant, the 3-2. A chopper over to the second baseman, Burrows, flipped over to first, and it's a 4-3 ground out for Gabby Park.
The designated player, number 24, Naya Campos.
That'll bring up the designated player in Naya Campos. 0 for 1 today. Walked in the first, struck out looking back in the second inning. Campos waves by the first pitch. Strike 1. Campos currently tabbed as 7th in the conference for RBIs per game. Just a touch under 1 at .95. The junior leads the squad with 18 ribbies this season. Not a chance to add any to her total right here with nobody on. as Gallant with a great response after the home run, really pounding the zone. 1-2. Outside. Couldn't locate it. Deuce is wild. Campos watches it roll by for strike 3. Gallant pulled the string on her for another K on the afternoon, her third. At the end of the fourth, Hoyas add one more to their total, but they trail by a field goal, headed to the top of the fifth. Through 4 frames, it's the Wildcats out in front by 3 runs over the Hoyas here from the nation's capital at Nats Academy. Dunn still resides in his circle for Georgetown. And she's given up 6 runs, 6 hits today. Also 1 error for Georgetown as well. Count at 1-1. Shot out, foul down the right side. 2-0 as the wind just continues to pound us here at Nats Academy. Chopper down the left side, rolls foul. One, two. Punch down the right side and goes foul. Quality at bat right here from the Wildcats. So Strowski at the dish, who's 0 for 1 on the day. He did have a sac fly that drove in 1 run. Two. Just inside, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch from Dunn on the way. On a rope out to left field. Dunks in for a base knock. Her first hit of the afternoon, the 7th for Villanova. And that's the 3rd straight inning at Villanova has begun with a leadoff base runner. That brings up Matty Burrows. Had that two-run bomb in the last inning out to right field. Pardon me, 2 innings ago, rather. Right down the pipe on the first pitch for an 0-1 count. Dunn delivers. Check swing didn't matter. Right down Main Street. 0-2. Burrows sends it foul into the backstop. Oh, 2 count, runner on first, nobody down. Dunn lets it go. Downstairs, ball 1. "12 combined hits between these two sides today. And a whole lot of runners stranded for Georgetown, especially in that second and third inning. They left runners on scoring position. And you also got to go back to when they had the bases loaded in the first with nobody away and couldn't bring anybody across. But a big-time strikeout from Dunn right there gets her looking. Dunn with her second strikeout of the afternoon, both of those backwards Ks. That'll bring up the right-handed batter in Grace Reed. Reed, the sophomore infielder out of Clinton, New Jersey. Obviously a whole lot of New Jersey, New York blood on both of these sides. Waved by, strike 2. Can't locate the zone on the pitch to Reed. Reed 1 for 2 on the afternoon. A single and a ground out. This season, Reed just hitting 175. And she's retired right there. Fresh count for Mankin, the catcher for the Wildcats. Mankin hitting 130 this year. 54 at-bats, 7 hits. Sky high pop-up. And the catcher, Pardini, can't reel it in. Mankin, a freshman out of Staten Island. And she's someone that had high expectations coming into this season. She was ranked 31st in the class of 2024 by extra innings. Probably the highest touted recruit that Villanova brought in this season. One of 5 freshmen on the squad this year. as she pops it up into foul territory. Reeled in by the third baseman, Strittmatter, and that will conclude the top of the fifth. We move to the home half of the inning right after this. Bottom of the fifth inning in a Big East showdown between the Villanova Wildcats and the Georgetown Hoyas. A scoreless top of the inning after 6 runs in the third and fourth from Villanova, 5 of which came in the third. Meanwhile, Georgetown trying to build off the ounce of momentum they got back in the bottom of the fourth inning with a solo homer from Claire Turner to cut into the deficit. Emily Strittmatter leads things off here as she punches one out to center field, and a great grab made by Gray. I thought I was going to get my glove out right there. I was ready to bring one home. And I didn't want to say anything because it was really flirting with it, but Strittmatter had a double and a single in her first 2 at-bats. A home run there would have had me really thinking about a cycle. Nevertheless, 1 up, 1 down, make it 2 up, 2 down. What a toss. This 6-3 connection from Franz to Ostrowski. And just like that, there's 2 outs on the board after 2 pitches. Now, the unwritten rules, you don't swing at this one because you don't want a 3-pitch inning. We'll see what Fenton has in store for us. She takes a swing, and it's a fly up to second, a 3-pitch inning. Burrows closes out the 5th. And Georgetown trails by 3 as we head to the 6th inning. Top of the 6th inning at Nats Academy in the nation's capital. Georgetown still searching for their first win in Big East play after an 0-6 start. Still trying to snap a 9-game losing skid. And they've got 3 runs they've got to make up. Villanova, one of the top teams in the Big East this season, captured the lead back in the 3rd inning, and they haven't looked back since. 7 hits on the afternoon for Villanova. And this is a Georgetown team that hits the ball well. We were talking about it earlier, 9.5 hits a game. Top 70 in the nation in that respective category. 1-1 from Dunn. Called strike 2. Dunn's had a great day in this circle despite the 6 runs on the board. She's really shown off her repertoire and what she's got in her arsenal. Chopper down the left side, goes foul into the Wildcats dugout. Now the 1-2. A chopper that got into the glove of a diving Dunn, but the throw was well late. So a good play made by Elizabeth Gray. What an afternoon for Elizabeth Gray. 3 plate appearances, 3 singles. Advanced on the first one also with an E5 to get in scoring position. And that's what's so great about a batter like that at the bottom of your order. It really feels like that second leadoff spot where you set up the top of the order for success. And the 3 times she's gone up to bat, she has either been the first, she was the first this inning, first in the 3rd inning, and she was the second batter up in the 4th inning. So she's come in early, and she's gotten on base all 3 times with no outs on the board. When you can do that, it can really, really do great things for your offense. Here's an 0-2 for the leadoff hitter in white. Called strike 3. Tic-tac-toe. 3 pitches for Dunn and a backwards K. That's her 4th strikeout of the afternoon. That's the 5th time this season that Dunn has tabbed 4 strikeouts, and we're still not out of here quite yet. She's got potentially 5 more outs to work with. 0-1 outside, ties it up at 1-1. Miranda Runco hasn't put anything into play quite yet, but she is certainly a powerful hitter. It's the Villanova squad that's got a whole lot of power in their batting order. We've seen it already with a home run, but Runco leads the squad with 6 homers on the season. No doubles or triples. So if she's getting a piece of it, she's getting all of it. But she's one of those hitters that while she leads the team in home runs, she also leads them in strikeouts. Three-1. Sent foul, and the count goes full. Three, 2, 1 down, runner on first. Wildcats out in front by 3. Dunn, the right-hander, delivers. Sent foul. We'll try it again. The payoff pitch on the way. down low for a ball. That's just the 10th time Runco's been walked this season. The 3rd time today. And it's so interesting to see that her first plate appearance, she struck out looking and was unfazed by it. And then just, she's done a great job of keeping the bat on her shoulder with a good eye for 3 consecutive walks in 3 straight plate appearances. It looks like we're going to get a pinch runner for Runco. Let's see if I can find the digits. So that'll be number 2, Alexa Raphael. A big shout out to our director today, Raphael, running the stream. Unrelated. Gets away from Pardini behind the dish. Runners will go station to station. Now 2 Wildcats in scoring position with 1 down. The 1-0. Down low for a ball. We've seen the bases loaded 3 times today. Villanova has found a whole lot of their offense when the backs have been juiced, which should be no surprise. 2-0. Roped out to left field, ricochets off the body of Koo. 1 run on the way, 2 coming in, slides in safely. It's a stand-up double that clears the bases. The 2nd double of the afternoon from Ava Franz. And the Wildcats back out in front by 5. And it looks like we might get a change in the circle. So Dunn's day will be done. And with that, we'll step aside for a moment. Stick with us here from Nats Academy. And we welcome you back into the ballpark. New pitcher in the circle for the Hoyas here today. Dunn's day is done, and Sage Hager takes over for the Hoyas. So far this year, 12 appearances, 3 starts. She's closed out 2 contests with a record of 2-3. Sports a 6 3.43 ERA through 32 and 2/3 innings worth of work. 50 hits allowed, 32 runs, only 8 walks and 7 strikeouts. But 15 hits have gone for doubles. 1-1, 1 down. High fly ball out to center field. Turner underneath, brings it in. And the throw back into the infield to keep everybody situated. Hager lets it go. The right-hander deals a strike. Hager, a grad student out of San Mateo, California. She's one of those transfers this season for Georgetown. Came in from Santa Clara, where she spent 4 seasons. Last year posted a 3-1 record across 33 1/3 innings. Appeared in 30% of the contests for Santa Clara. Also had a no-hitter during her stint with SC. 0-2, 2 down. Chopper down the third base line, goes foul. And how about that? With all the wind we've had today, we've now got a kite in the stands here. There's no better day for it. Oh, 2. Upstairs. Ball 1. One-two pitch. Falls outside the zone. Deuce is wild. Oof. That one got away from Hager. Into the leg of Ostrowski. So a hit by pitch will put her on first. And bring up Maddie Burrows now to bat. With 2 on and 2 down. Popped up deep center field. The second of the day for Maddie Burrows. This time it's a 3-run homer. A no-doubter right off the bat. And it's the second inning of the day where the Wildcats have posted 5 runs in a frame. Maddie Burrows, a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer. She has outscored Georgetown by herself. And now the Hoyas in run rule territory, trailing by 8. Hager pounds the zone on the opening pitch to Grace Reed for an 0-1 count. Reed 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Had a single in the second, ground out in the third, and a strikeout looking back in the fifth. Down low, taken for a ball. One, Hager kicks and fires. Sky high, going foul. Yes, on top of the Georgetown dugout. Guzzo tried to track that one down, but just ran out of real estate. Ten hits on the day for Villanova. A whole bunch of them for extra bases. 3 doubles, 2 home runs. Both via Matty bombs away Burrows. One, two. Chopper down the third base line, rolls foul. A right-hander deals. Sent out to left field and grabbed by Koo to end the top of the sixth. Georgetown needs a response here in the home half of the sixth inning. Hang with us here on Georgetown Athletics. Bottom of the sixth inning, Georgetown down by 8. Runco checks back into the affair, now enters into the circle here for Villanova. Runco this season has only thrown for 13 innings, sports an ERA of 5.38 and a record of 1-2 in her 6 appearances. This one starting to feel like it's all but sealed. First pitch runs outside for ball 1. Sharp grounder over to the second baseman. And an easy sidearm toss for the 4-3 ground out. So a pinch hitter here for the Hoyas. In place of Elizabeth Gray, it'll be Maggie Howard. which is tough because you had Elizabeth Gray going 3 for 3 on the afternoon. Or no, pardon me, I'm twisted. Maggie Gray comes in for Danny Koo, rather. My apologies, on the wrong side of the scorebook. Howard waves by the second pitch. Third one down low for a 1-2 count with one down. Outside, ties it up at a pair. Howard waved by for strike 3. Runco with her first strikeout of the afternoon, the 5th for the Wildcats. That brings up Brooke Rebhan once again. Rebhan slashed a double earlier on in this contest. This one's a pop-up out to right field, and Wagner brings it in with ease. And I believe that will do it. An 11-3 final in run rule fashion. The Villanova Wildcats claim the victory, and Georgetown drops their 10th consecutive contest and moves to 0-7 in conference play. Up on deck for the Hoyas, they'll see Villanova again tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow's bowl game starting at 1 p.m. once again here from the Washington National Youth Academy. We appreciate you tuning in and spending your Friday afternoon with us. There's a whole lot of basketball going on, so maybe go check that out. We'll see if the Big East can make some noise in the bracket. With that being said, I've been Joe Brennan. A big thank you to Raphael, our director, running this show. Until next time, thank you so much, and have a good one.